Have you ever met someone who is really jacked and you ask them like, how did you get jacked? And their answer is like, yeah, I ate raw goat testicles every day. No, I haven't met anyone like that. So probably that's not the case. So what gets someone jacked? Probably fucking not the goat testicles. But I researched, I studied 50 or 100 out of the thousands of people that this page owner has interviewed, who is like, he asks very fit people what they do for their workouts. You probably know him. And what I noticed was interesting. First off, let's get the basics. Like, they were all consistent as fuck. They were consistent specifically with their training, meaning that they never went below like 2 times per week. Like, that's what I noticed. Like, none of them was training below 2 times per week. Not once per week, not once every 2 weeks. And it makes sense because that's when you will see the most results. Like, when you work more, you will see more results in the gym. It makes perfect sense. They were also consistent with what they were eating, their diets, their avoiding bad habits, basically like smoking and drinking and eating junk food and all of that stuff. They were very consistent with that. They knew exactly, actually, when was the last time they consumed something that was not good for them. For example, they know that they drink alcohol 2 or 3 times a year, for example. They know that they're cautious of it. They are cautious of what enters their body and their mouth. That's one thing, that they're consistent and they just keep track, sometimes without knowing it, but sometimes deliberately as well. Because when you drink, let's say, or when you eat junk food this often, when you eat junk food so unfrequently, it makes sense to know when you're doing it because it's something rare. It's a unique event. It's something that doesn't happen often. On top of that, what I noticed was that they were either doing a sport on the side or just weight training. But the people who were only doing weights, who were only lifting or only going to the gym, some of them were a bit higher body fat. And I think it kind of makes sense. Like, when you practice a sport or you do cardio, you have to be a bit leaner. You care about being a bit leaner. Whereas if you just lift weights, you want to look bigger, but you might want to sacrifice some body fat for it. Like, you might want to look a little bit fatter, to look a little bit huger and a little bit bigger, which makes sense in some people's minds. I'm not saying that you can't do cardio and weights and still have a little bit of fat, or that you can't do only weights and be extremely lean. I'm just saying that that's the pattern I noticed. And that makes sense, again, as I said, because the the people put more effort into what they care about. If someone wants to look bigger, they'll put more effort in the gym, which might not get them leaner, but it will get them bigger. If they want to get leaner, then they will probably do some form of cardio on the side as well. Again, that's not always the case, but it's usually what happens. They also looked young, which makes sense. Like, they're fit, they're low body fat. Some of them, they look young. Okay, they look healthy, they look fit, they're active, and they're young. But it's not only that, it's that they looked young even at older ages, which means that they had been doing these habits for a long time to kind of slow down this aging effect. So their consistency is more than on point. It's probably fucking perfect because it's been built upon years and years and years of doing the good habits. Now, I want to add a tip to that. I want to add something that I see people that get results in the gym really do. And that something that I've implemented myself is that they don't scroll through their sets. Throughout their sets, like when they're taking a break, they are not on their phone usually. And I don't know what's going on with it. Like, you could be spending like it's the same rest, it's the same amount. Like, you either spend like 90 seconds or 120 seconds, 20 minutes, whatever. What the fuck? Not 20 minutes, just 2 minutes. Whatever your break is, you could be spending that either listening to music, either from your headphones or from the gym, or you could spend that scrolling. Like, it's the same amount of time. It's just that scrolling and texting and all of that stuff and looking at your phone very frequently, it just does something to your brain. I don't know, and it just zaps your focus a little bit. I don't know. There's a huge, a magic way of how this works, but it works. Like, trust me, I know ball. A lot of other people know ball as well, and it might be surface ball knowledge. It might not be. Like, it might not be that deep, but I suggest you try it. Like, if you are texting and scrolling throughout your sets, not actually throughout your break, not the set, like when you're doing this and you're fighting whatever. Anyway, if you're doing that, just try to remove it and see how your workout goes. Maybe you feel a little bit more focused. Maybe it's placebo and you don't. I don't know how it works. It's maybe like the universe, God, they see you're a little bit more dedicated than the guy who is on their phone. And it will return to you in some way or another, in some form of progress. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Go ahead and try it for yourself. I don't think you have anything to lose. And that's it for the video. I hope it helped. See ya.